I'm Jeff Koinange, and this is a cold night at the Villa Rosa Kempinski on Jeff Koinange Live. Despite the cold, well, I'm sure you've all been waiting, and this is how it started. Let me just set the stage up because some of you are not on social media and you don't know what happened. So, as of the weekend, former ODM Secretary General Babu Namwamba had confirmed he was coming. You can keep your tea down. You can keep your tea down. It's okay. It's okay. He had confirmed he was coming on the show. Up until yesterday, I put a poster out. I said Babu was coming. KOT, Kenyans on Twitter, came out overwhelmingly and said, you have to balance this interview. Why don't you invite Edwin Sifuna, the coup leader? So I thought about it, and in the end, I relented, and I did. I sent out a new poster showing Babu Namwamba and Edwin Sifuna. Would you know what happened next? Your guess is as good as mine. Babu sent a tweet saying he doesn't punch below his weight. This is a man who had endorsed Edwin Sifuna back in the day. So, bottom line, Babu's not here. Sifuna is here. And then last week, if you were watching JKL on Wednesday, the Grand Mullah literally tore former Deputy Speaker Farah Maalim, tore into him saying he would never win Garissa town seat. So Farah Maalim called me and he says, I need the right of reply. So here's the deal. Babu's not here. He refused to come because maybe he's afraid of Sifuna, or maybe because he hasn't decided what party he's going to after resigning, although he hasn't officially resigned. And Farah Maalim, former Deputy Speaker, former Member of Parliament for Lagdera. That's who we have tonight. And the hashtag will remain the same. Mundu Humundu. Sorry. Mundu Humundu. Let's start tweeting. Gentlemen, good to see you.
Good to see you.
Advocate of LSK?
Yes.
Are you a commissioner or what? Are you a
No, I'm a council member of LSK.
What does that mean?
It means I am a representative of a membership of a society on the council.
Mheshimiwa,
yes.
Good to see you, man.
Good to see you. Good to see you. Always.
They say you can't even win a seat in your in Dadaab.
You know, the person who says that is Ahmed Nasir.
Yes, the Grand Mullah.
Ahmed Nasir has absolutely no relevance in the Somali community beyond JKL and the High Court way he is doing his wheeling and dealing. You know what I mean?
He's the Grand Mullah.
Hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. He cannot become the chairman of a Parents and Teachers Association school in a location or a sub-location in Northeastern Province.
He's from Mandera, by the way.
He's from Mandera. He grew up in Mandera. He has no home in Mandera, I can tell you. You're getting my point? He has no home. He has no constituency in Northeastern Province.
Yeah.
That's why he makes all the noise here in Nairobi. Yeah. That's why he does his lolly, primitive, you know, what you call con artist, legal wheeling and dealing. Not law, not scholarly, nothing basic. Let me tell you one thing. Why lawyers call one another a learned friend? By the way, I want Kenyans to forgive me because this is not my style. What I'm doing right now is not my style.
Right.
But somebody has to say it exactly as it is to save the judiciary, to save the legal fraternity in Kenya, and to save this country from this wheeler dealer. And to put it exactly as it is.
Yes. Okay. Hold that thought. Grand Mullah, I hope you're watching.
He has to be watching, yes.
Edwin Sifuna.
Yes.
Welcome to the bench, my brother.
Thank you. Thank you for
why is Babu Namwamba so scared of you? By the way, he insists he has never met you. He doesn't know you. He asks, who is Sifuna?
Well, he likes to cut this image of a clean politician, but the events of the past few weeks have proven that he's no different from the dwellers of his world who claim never to have met Anwar Guru. That the last time I saw him was I saw her on TV, and we have seen politicians denying people. We saw people distancing themselves from Josephine Kafura, saying we know no such character called Josephine Kafura,
right?
Because it is a culture of dishonesty. And he has been found out. Just today he was claiming that Raila Odinga has not been to his constituency
in 9 years.
9 years. Yet Kenyans, because we have become adept at fact-checking politicians, they were very quick to remind him. And the internet doesn't forget that just 2 years ago he was
2014.
hosting. Absolutely, he was hosting Raila Odinga.
Holding hands.
Absolutely.
In Budalangi.
So it is this culture of dishonesty that we are trying to root out of our politics.
Okay, real quick.
Yes.
You took over his office.
Absolutely. It was a vacant office. It is not his office.
Right.
Yes, he was not in the office.
Right. And he has officially resigned, but he hasn't handed in his resignation.
I was hoping he would come so that I receive his resignation officially, as now the person who is in charge of that office, so that I can stamp it for him as received by the party and say, good riddance, whatever it is that is left in his office, I will bring it to him. Whatever it is he feels that is left, I've heard him making noise that there are certain shares, that if he is to leave the party, there's certain things that have to be given to him.
Like what?
I don't understand. Our party constitution, and Farah will tell you, is that when you cease being a member of ODM, you don't claim anything from the party, including the subscriptions that you paid. We don't owe you anything.
You walk away.
Yes.
Where's he going to go, by the way? Where's he going to go?
You know, the truth of the matter and the reality of Kenyan politics is that there's only two sides. The political divide is two-sided. So you are either in CORD or you're in Jubilee. We know very well that he's going to Jubilee.
What is he going to do in Jubilee? Can he win on a Jubilee ticket in Budalangi?
Absolutely not. If you look at the election results of 2013, you'll be surprised that Ababu Namwamba got only 11,800 votes in his constituency. The person that is now deriding, the party leader Raila Odinga, got 18,000 votes in Budalangi constituency itself. The person who came second to Ababu Namwamba is Raphael Wanjala. Ababu beat him by only 5,000 votes. So if you take the 6,000 plus votes that Raila Odinga got more than him, and the 5,000 gap that he had between him, Raphael Wanjala, basically he's finished as MP for Budalangi. He's not coming back as
But maybe he's been promised other goodies.
Of course.
What do you think?
No.
Maybe he's been promised other goodies.
The only thing I can tell you about Busia, I wouldn't talk about another part of Western Province.
Yeah.
The thing I can tell you about Busia is that Busia is an ODM zone. You're not with Raila, you cannot win any seat in Busia. And Budalangi more so is so mixed, Luo, that I think some of the people out there have already signed off their political demise.
Really?
I'm serious. What also surprised me very much is that I couldn't understand why Otuoma was doing what he was doing. Just to be told today that Otuoma wants to run for the governor of Busia.
Correct.
And he doesn't see how ODM is going to give him the ticket, because the ticket he believes will be given to Ojamong. You get my point?
Yeah.
It's a bit tricky.
So
also
suicide.
There. Well, I don't know about Otuoma. But I think by and large, by the way, what you have to understand is that 85% of members of parliament don't come back. All over the country.
That's right.
All over the country.
Yeah.
This particular parliament, I would not be surprised if about 90+% do not come back. Yes.
You know,
Sifuna,
Jeff,
wait, Sifuna.
Yes.
By the way, here they call you Edu.
Well,
is that the word on the streets?
I haven't been on the streets, so I don't know where you had that.
I heard Edu.
I just wanted to mention something about what Mheshimiwa Farah is saying.
Yes.
The percentages of the leaders who make it back. And here's where we're making a mistake as a country, that we are listening to the wrong people. Because after the 2010 constitution, the power is with the people. What you need to be listening to is what the people are saying. These leaders will come and go every day, The transition rate for these MPs is very high. So I get a little bit miffed when I hear people saying, oh, Western Kenya is shifting away from ODM just because one or two MPs are saying this and that about it. And even the fact that somebody would not show up to debate somebody like me, who is a voter and a constituency. I represent a constituency that is the largest voting bloc in the country, the youth in this country. We are the most important people. In fact, you should have more of us on this bench, Jeff. We are tired of hearing the same voices in this country. We are tired of hearing from these so-called elected leaders, because they believe that they are the ones who know what is best for us. But Kenyans, the voters, are the ones who know what is best for them. So you should listen to us. And when you see somebody who cannot sit down with the voter, like myself, to discuss issues. Mheshimiwa Farah has been big in politics for all this time. He's somebody that we look up to. But he has the courtesy to sit down with me and discuss issues of national importance.
Give me one reason why Ababu won't show up here tonight. One reason, other than the big announcement he's making tomorrow.
Okay, you should know this, that I have worked with Ababu Namwamba. He will deny me like Simon Peter denied Jesus 3 times. But I have worked with Ababu Namwamba. And before all these shenanigans happens, you know, he has been missing in action for about 18-20 months. And before we started having this conversation publicly, I, together with some other friends of his who used to work with him, actually staged an intervention in his house in Budalangi. So he can claim that he doesn't know me.
You've been to his house?
I have been to his house. I left his house at 3 a.m. in the morning after sitting him down and telling him, SG, we need the SG that we used to know back. Because at that particular time, there were so many issues in this country. There were so many issues in this country, and we thought that he was an important voice as the Secretary General of the party.
Yeah. So what is he? Is he a fake, or what is he?
You know,
what is this? What does he want?
This is what I'm telling you, Jeff.
Look, Ababu is a brilliant young man. There's no question about that. Nobody will doubt that. His enemies.
Is he general?
Is
he the general?
The detractors. I mean, those were a little bit of a juvenile words that were used by the so-called young ODM, reloaded, and the rest of it. Look, we are, the moment you become a member of parliament, you are an old man, you are a Mudamaki, you are a Mzee.
Yes.
You get my point?
Yes.
To try and call yourself youth again,
yeah,
and you know, dress in certain manner and make certain noises and create some nicknames and the rest of it, it's not good. It's never been good. The first cabinet of this country, Kenyatta's cabinet, the age, most of them were in their 30s or in their late 20s. Yes, in their they're very young. They're very, very young.
Yeah.
You know, somebody like Tomboya, the late Tomboya, as powerful as he was only 33 years old that time. And you had very young people there.
Matiba.
All of them. No, Matiba was not in that cabinet. But all of them were very young, except Gichuru and Kenyatta and Jaramogi. And one or two and Koinange. The rest of them were all very young, either in their late 20s or early 30s.
Correct.
But they were all men. They were sage. They were wise men. So the moment you get into these things, this business of saying digital and running around, and it's fraud.
So what does he want? What does this man
what he's going to do? What Ababu, in my opinion, and I hate for us to keep on discussing Ababu and Ababu.
Yeah, we'll move on.
Let's move on.
Yeah.
Ababu has made up his choices.
Yeah.
He definitely did not do this out of nothing. He's a sharp guy, he's a brilliant guy. He must have charted a course for himself. One thing for sure, he will not come back as a member of parliament.
Will not.
I know it as well as I know my own death. You know what I mean? And you know, only God, inshallah, only a miracle from God will change that.
Yes.
But he could be anything. He could make a very good minister. He will make a very good CEO. Very young in any parastatal. He can make an exceptional ambassador. You know, he has all these qualities.
Yeah.
He is good.
Yeah.
There's no question. Nobody can deny.
Okay.
So I think he's already made his own choices. He knows where he wants to be. If he's going to be whatever people say, a running mate in 2022,
yep,
let's wait and see.
Have you heard that, Sifuna?
Yeah. That
running
rumor
mate 2022.
I have heard it as well, that the DP is putting together his team for 2022.
Yeah.
And, you know, they say that when certain powerful voices start whispering in your ear, you actually lose focus. Yeah. And as a student of history, I know for a fact that when you want to undertake a war, but you don't want to come out, you know, outright and tell people why you are staging this particular war, you want to create a justification for war.
Yeah.
For instance, before the 2003 invasion of Iraq, Bush's administration with people like Rumsfeld came up with this excuse that were weapons of mass destruction.
Yes.
It is called casus belli in Latin.
Casus belli, yeah.
In Latin, you know, what it means is that you are looking for an excuse for war. We have had people comparing this situation with the situation with Musalia Mudavadi, for instance. When Musalia Mudavadi was leaving the party, he made similar noises saying, oh, there's no eternal democracy, I have no equal opportunity to get the party leadership. When the truth came out that he had actually signed an agreement already with Uhuru Kenyatta and Kibaki, that he was going to be supported for the presidency, you know. So when these truths come out is when people realize that all these noises that were being made, they were just a red herring, you understand. So we know that he is the powerful voices that are whispering to him, promising him heaven, And it is okay for you to come out as an honest leader and say, this is what I have been given, instead of making all this noise.
Before we go to break,
let's move on.
Would you make a good VP?
Who?
Babu, in 22.
Be much older than he is now.
He'll be what? He'll be
Maybe in his
7
40s.
years older.
40s. What is he now? He's what?
Almost 50, right?
No.
No. He's
I don't know. He must be either in late 30s or early 40s.
early 40s.
Early 40s, yeah.
So he'll be close to 50.
Yeah.
He will be close to 50. You know, you can't deny the fact that he's a very sharp, brilliant young man. You get my point? And he would have already had a lot of experience. Yes, maybe he'll make a very good vice president. I don't know. I don't know whether he's going to make, but I want to believe he's going to make, yes. Undoubtedly, yes.
All right.
Undoubtedly.
Enough.
Have you watched this movie that was called Trading Places?
Trading Places, of
With
course.
Dan Aykroyd and Eddie Murphy.
Correct.
Given an opportunity, everybody can make a good
Trading Places.
make Ababu the vice president that time. He will make an exceptional vice president, and he'll also make a good president for that. Undoubtedly, he will mature. He will grow. He will basically.
You actually believe that?
Of course.
After leaving your party, you people,
You don't blame anybody for being
Farah is a fallacy.
Look. You don't blame anybody for getting ambitious and looking for greener pastures elsewhere. You get my point? The only thing I can tell is in the immediate. In the immediate, his political life has already come to
So
an
would
end.
you leave ODM?
No, but look, people
Would
say...
you leave ODM?
No, I would never leave ODM. But still, let me tell you one thing. You don't get that many people like... you know what they say? Only fools do not, change their mind. But maybe I'm a fool. You know what I mean? But I of course, everybody knows Farah will never change his mind.
Sifuna, would you
switch
switch parties?
No, I would not switch parties because we made an informed decision on why we are in this party.
By the way, I saw a picture earlier on of you with Baba.
Yeah, he's a
Was that
party
today?
leader. Yeah, that was today.
Did you tell him you were coming on JKL?
No, we were discussing the upcoming tour of Western Province.
I'm sorry, you didn't discuss JKL?
No, I mentioned that I might swing by the show. But, you know, the matter of a visit to Western Kenya is quite heavy.
Really?
Yes.
I'm going to come back after the break and I want to talk about Western Kenya because you people are losing ground.
Talk about Kenya, don't talk about only
No,
Western Kenya.
no. Let's talk about politics because Western is falling apart.
Western is
It
not
is not
going
falling
anywhere.
apart.
Let me tell you.
Are you kidding me?
I'm telling you, yes. Western, you can take this to the bank. Leaders will come and go. Many leaders who were elected from Western in the last election will become history. I remember myself when we had 5 members of parliament in the 7th parliament from Fodasili.
Yes.
Fodasili, the late Magwaga, and all those guys, Omani, and all those people, and then they went en masse, all of them, to join the ruling party, and came on, some kind of a sham election. After that, they became history. Nobody even remembers their names.
Nobody.
Yeah. So there are a number of leaders who are going to come out there and get carried
Okay,
away.
well, let's talk about the scenarios. Like Madividi is out there. We don't know where he's leaning.
No, Mudavadi.
Mudavadi.
Yes.
Wetangula doesn't know whether he's going to be given that mantle. Doesn't know.
Not so easy, but he's there. He's there in the coalition.
Correct.
He's there in the coalition.
Wamalwa is happy being,
And a
doing
CS,
water and stuff.
a CS, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You guys are in trouble. And Abab, the generali, has defected. Come on, guys.
I don't even know why people still insist on calling him General. You know, in the villages out
There's
there...
never Kijana wa Malwa. Let me tell you. They don't have a Kijana wa Malwa now.
In the villages, there's these people who tell you stories about how they fought in the King's
Burma.
African...
Burma.
The King's African
Second
Rifles
World War.
in Burma.
Correct.
If you want to know the real generals of today's wars, you sit with somebody like my senior James Orengo, he will tell you about the battles of the 90s and how they relate to the battles of now. He's telling you these stories in the middle of today's battles.
Yeah.
When you hear this so-called general speak, he will tell you about the time that he refused to swear an oath.
Yes.
That was in 2007. He will tell you about ODM Reloaded. That was in 2013. We want people who will tell you about the battles that we were fighting today. Those are true generals because we are confronted every day with a regime that has entrenched corruption in everything that it does. It is trying to claw back all the gains that we have made as a country in terms of democratic space expansion. Journalists like yourselves have to be picked out of prisons by people like me every other time. You
I'm
know?
sorry, did you rescue me?
I rescued you.
Oh,
Jeff.
really? So I ended up
Yeah.
getting fined, right?
Yeah,
I
ended
got
up
you out
getting
of jail.
fined.
2 million shillings.
2 million shillings.
Why did you spend a few days in jail and then you come out and get a bond and then you appeal against the thing?
Because the lawyer didn't advise me.
No, because you were so scared of spending a night in jail. Why did you do it like Junet did? Moses Kuria, my good friend, did.
And Gunjiri.
And Gunjiri. And
Yeah.
they came out of that place
Yeah.
saved, you know,
Saved.
completely changed.
They've seen the
But
light.
they had to share that bucket.
Yeah, but you see, because Junet was praying inside the place. And then Moses Kuria fought very hard for Junet
Did he?
to be allowed to go and use the toilet outside, because as a Muslim, you know, Moses worked in the Middle East. So, yeah, Moses knows Muslims. He speaks Arabic, by the way. I speak to him in Arabic and we communicate very
Moses
well.
Kuria?
Moses is very good.
He can't even speak English properly.
No.
He speaks Arabic?
No. Moses is a professional, a technocrat par excellence.
My goodness.
The guy was very senior in Standard
What's his
Chartered.
extinguisher? What's this? Wait, what's happening?
But let me tell you what he did. He fought very hard for the man he never would fight for outside jail. Junet. And Junet was allowed to use his prayer mat there and to go and use the
Can I
toilet.
be allowed
outside.
to use extinguisher?
Jesus.
It's loud. It's loud.
You're so brave in firing this big gun here and you couldn't go into the jail for one night. So
Did he just say that on my show?
I'm sure this is a violation of a fire code.
What's your point? Are you a lawyer?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Jeff Koinange live at the Villa Roskepinski. Wow, I thought it was cold tonight, but it's heating up here, man. It is hot. Let's come back. Let's talk about politics going forward. And let's also talk about the Chief Justice shortlisting. Makau Mutua is absent.
I am. Yeah, okay. We hold it there?
Yes.
Okay.
Makau Mutua, the most qualified.
Okay.
Oh my! Somebody say oh my! Jeff Koinange live at the Villa Roskepinski takes a break. We'll be back.
Can I have my cup of